The 2009 season didn't start off so well because a couple of weeks before the season started, the UCL in my elbow got irritated. If you're training and it feels like someone is sticking a needle into your elbow, stop immediately and get ice on it. I didn't get to open up until halfway through the season, but with that type of thing, you're better off safe than sorry. University of Texas El Paso is where I had my first meet. I have no footage from UTEP because it was raining a little bit and no one was with me. I felt decent coming off the elbow problem and was happy with the results despite it only being a small PR for me. I ended up throwing 64.66 meters or 212 feet 2 inches, which was a 25 centimeter PR for me. Alex Vandermeer ended up taking first place with a throw over 69 meters. The TrackAthlete.com company vehicle ended up breaking down on the way back from El Paso, and it ended up costing me $1,200 to fix. After the car was fixed, I had to leave for California for the Mount Sac Relays. This meet was going to be awesome because my friend John Bowman was coming from Indiana Wesleyan to throw discus in the Invitational division. There were a lot of technical issues with my throws that I won't really go into right now, but I didn't do so well, and I only ended up throwing 190 feet and didn't make finals. It was pretty upsetting. John threw the next day and competed very well against the elite guys. He ended up throwing 57.63 meters or 189 feet 1 inch, which took 5th place overall. After that, we did some training at the beach, which was awesome. We did some circuit training with the med ball, and we also tried to get in the water, but it was freezing cold. I went back to Tucson for a few weeks and ended up planning another trip out to California to hit up some meets. Later in the NCAA season, a lot of the meets are closed. You have conference meets, you end up getting in the regionals eventually. But it's very hard to get into a meet, unless you travel really far. So I ended up deciding to go to Stanford. There was a meet with Stanford and Cal Berkeley, and there were some other teams there, and there were some good throwers that were signed up to throw in that meet. I was trying to drive to a track meet at Stanford, and Tucson to Stanford is probably about 13-hour drive, and I didn't quite make it, so I had to hunker down here in this little hotel room. It was a little bit cramped, but the price was just right, so I guess I'm not really going to complain. And I'm ready to continue my journey, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat a bunch of supplements for breakfast and then continue on. I made it to Stanford and I went to the track, did a shakeout. Not only am I competing this weekend, today is Friday, so Saturday I'm competing. On Monday I have an interview, and not just any interview. This is an interview that's in Los Angeles, and it is to be Diddy's assistant. And this is a show that's going to be on VH1. So you guys know how I'm always applying for these reality shows. One thing I realized though is my appearance isn't as professional as I would like it to be. You see how gnarly my hair is and everything. It's just nasty. It's not professional at this point. But you can do a trick that I like to call the knuckle cut. Trust me on this one, guys. You just slip your fingers in like this, like so, and then you can just start cutting, and as long as you stay at knuckle length, you're going to come up with a decent haircut. Because, think about it. Everybody's spiking their hair up and everything else like that anyway, so you just kind of mess it up, do the spiked up look. No one can even tell that you cut it yourself, guaranteed. So just work your way around. What I usually like to do is definitely go like exact knuckle length in the back and on the sides, and then as you work up towards the top, maybe go, okay, this is exact knuckle length, then stretch it out a little bit like that, and then so you cut that off, and just do that all over. Well, I'm done with the knuckle cut. It was a huge success. Cut off a lot of hair, and it's laying a little bit funny right now, but seriously, it'll look fine. Once you put a little bit of gel in it, spike it up, it looks like a normal haircut. Okay, I got plenty of ice in here. Take a really cold ice bath. What it basically does is stimulate the nerves. So if you want to have fresh legs the next day when you compete, you know, it kind of gives you a shock to your nerves. I don't know if it was worth it, but, you know, I traveled 12 hours and 45 minutes and got slapped with a late entry fee, taking my total entry fee to $45 to basically go out and throw with myself, because for some reason everybody else in the competition decided they weren't going to throw. You know, people are going to think that I'm making up excuses or something like that, but I don't even know what to say about, you know, what happened today. Ended up throwing 58 meters. It was like 191 feet. And, you know, I really don't know. You know, I feel like maybe I should have thrown better, but when you're competing against yourself and, you know, the conditions weren't really that great, I'm just going to go to bed and, you know, try not to think about what happened today in the competition. So, night, guys. Well, I'm at some beach in California. It's pretty nice out here. Just watching some of the surfers do what they do. Kind of close to the rocks, but whatever. Looks like they know. Another successful night of staying at Hotel Grand Prix is completed. We're in Malibu, California, and the Diddy interview is 6 hours and counting. I'm at the casting agency right now. I look good. I feel good. The knuckle cut is looking beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and try to take the camera in with me. And yeah, I'm going to shut it off, like, you know, when I check in and stuff. It's more of a stage prop, you know, to be like, yeah, I'm serious about video. I'm a video blogger just like Diddy. The most important thing I need to do is to make them respect the brand. Diddy, he has a movie production company, so Bad Boy Entertainment is a lot of media stuff, so they respect what I've done here. They could land me on the show. Hey, I'm in the bathroom at the casting agency. I signed my name in the sign-on sheet, and I'm just waiting for my interview. I just got done with my interview, and it went real good. The casting director really liked me. He's going to be passing my name on, and the knuckle cut looked amazing. The Tucson Elite meet was a meet I had planned on peaking for before I even injured my elbow. I felt pretty good, but again, my elbow and shoulder couldn't hold up to the impact of my block, and so I had extremely poor flights again and threw around 190 feet. When your javelin is almost parallel to a light post, it's probably not going to go too far. Sean Fury put in some really solid throws to win the meet with a throw over 78 meters. Just like the 2008 season, I was only able to get in 5 meets during the 2009 season. I was happy with the first meet and threw well considering the circumstances, but I honestly thought I blew up my elbow when I threw my PR. And the rest of the season, my elbow just wasn't really the same. I also had some shoulder problems, which wasn't helping either. I put a lot of good training in, but was not able to produce big throws. I don't regret all the work I put in, and I have taken a lot of positives away from the experience. And honestly, good things don't come to those who quit too early. So, you know, some people, you know, would think that I would quit at that point. And a couple years ago, if someone would have asked me, you know, if I'd still be throwing right now and not have really moved up my PR much, I would probably say no. But, you know, it comes down to, you know, after you take that summer break off away from the training, if you look at your javelins, you look at your implements, and you want to go out and throw them, then you should probably be throwing. So that's the situation, and I'm gonna keep training and see what happens.